Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Five Boys in a Business podcast where we talk about the business, our family, and the many shenanigans involved. We meet most Mondays somewhere around 11 or 11:15, and you can find us on any of the podcast channels, iTunes, Spotify,
Google Podcasts.
Yep. I'm Emily King.
I'm Richie King.
And we're here today to talk about some fun stuff.
Also,
I should mention, don't forget to check out the merch store, asvcmerch.com.
Mm-hmm.
Now that it's cold, we have long sleeve shirts that Richie's sporting today, along with hats, which I was told this past weekend is one of a person's favorite hat. My workout coach, Tatum, said
her favorite hat.
I love that hat.
Oh,
yeah, so
nice
there
hats.
you go. There's some feedback for the hats.
That's awesome. Yeah,
they're comfy.
Yeah, we have some of those in stock.
My
right
kids wear them for running when they're running partners out in the cold.
And it'll add to the laundry load. That's the joys of cold weather running is that they burn through clothes like
even
crazy.
More clothing.
It's like, how many times can you change clothes today, guys? Just checking.
Yes,
so
a lot. And now since they don't have, look, there's the merch store right there.
They are.
Those are our awesome employees acting as models. There you go. So yeah. Check them out. This weekend, do you want to talk about our shenanigans this weekend?
We had, all the doctors, or actually, I forget whose idea it was, to go and actually deliver the Christmas gifts to each individual employee by the doctors. And so they split up in teams and went around and collectively hit every employee's house and delivered everything personally. And the employees seemed to really, really enjoy and appreciate it.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was pretty funny, actually. Fun and funny. Because COVID ruined it for us. Because usually we have a huge Christmas party. And we dance and have fun. And we couldn't do that this year. So I was really bummed. So the doctors helped me come up with the idea of individually driving around to everyone's house. That's Dr. Dudley. She borrowed her father's Santa suit, which was awesome. And that's everybody that delivered presents. And that's all the doctors. And Terry Russell had left by the time we took that picture. That's Terry there with me in the truck. She's part of the leadership team and helped us deliver presents. So we had individual presents for everybody. And we broke up into 4 groups and traveled around. And it was absolutely hilarious because the staff, it started at 2:00 where the staff were like, oh my God, I feel like I'm waiting for, I think Jen said, the cable guy. And then somebody else would say, my dog's barked 15 times. Every time they bark, I look out the window because they knew that we were coming.
Right.
And so it was a lot of fun. There's cool. Dr. Faust and Dr. Poles singing and doing their dance at someone's house.
That's cool.
Kudos to my awesome leadership group who was willing to participate in the shenanigans with me to pull that off on Saturday because it would have been a monumental task without their help. So, it was really fun. The staff really enjoyed it.
And they all came over and had a bite to eat. And it was
told
great.
Stories.
Yeah, it was cool. It was
about their adventures of that day.
Yeah.
We had one staff member who lives in an apartment and they knocked on every apartment door because they didn't know which apartment number she lived in. So that happened.
Sounds like going to the door and go, do you know where so-and-so lives? You're like, I don't have any idea.
Know. Terry and I ended up at the wrong house one time. We were right next door to the house, but, and Terry brought her awesome truck that sings songs and had a PA. And so we were able to yell out the truck at people. We just, took advantage of the whole thing. It was awesome. It was a great time.
Okay, so explain how the truck can talk and all that. Does it have like a horn system in
it has like a PA. And so then we would turn on the PA and it was hilarious. We just had a great time.
That's an old truck.
Yeah, it's a 93, I learned.
Oh, wow.
So it's actually an antique. So it was fun.
Not a lot of antique cars up here in central Indiana.
With all the cold and everything.
Yeah, cold and snow and stuff. So it's cool.
Yeah,
everybody had a blast.
Yeah, we got to meet some family and take pictures, and everybody had a great time. It was good.
That's cool.
So
good job. Hats off to you guys.
Kudos to them for going. It was great. I guess it was a good second alternative to missing the Christmas party. So some of those Christmas parties over the years, a lot of good memories, made and late nights and everything. So yeah, pretty funny stories.
We had one year I remember where the kids had stayed over at somebody's house, maybe Missy's or your parents, I can't remember. And we got to bed so late, even though we slept in till like 8 o'clock. We got like 4 hours of sleep. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, some of those nights, yeah. Especially when you have it at the house and then you got to do all the cleanup afterwards.
Right.
So
the only year we haven't had it at the house was last year, right? Mm-hmm. There's just too many people now, unfortunately, with their significant others, and
yeah.
So yeah, we filled up a pretty decent hall last year and had a good time. I hired a DJ and everything. It was fun.
Yep.
It was
Absolutely.
pretty cool.
Got to have dancing.
Yep.
With the Christmas shoes.
So yeah, Christmas season is upon us almost. So we are busy getting ready. We wanted to share a story, some funny Christmas stories here at the clinic with our kids, and we had one year. Kind of what we do is
what reminded me of it was Calvin came in today.
Oh yeah,
and you almost
a lot. So we have a lot of stuff shipped here just for keep things organized and secret and whatnot. So a lot of things come here, and they for whatever reason always find their way to my office. I don't know how, but I walk in and I'm having to move things to get to my desk. So years ago, so that we've done that for a long time. So years and years ago, probably 2004 or maybe 2003.
I don't remember.
Anyway, one year we had bought Trevor a pedal fire truck because he really loves fire trucks, and we had it was delivered, and we assembled it, and it was in mine and Emily's shared office at the time. And I came up here with the kids, and Trevor just walked in the office like he normally did, and it's sitting there, and he's looking at it and touching it, and I was like, oh my God, what did we do? What did I do? And Emily's yelling at me and all this stuff. So we had to make up something, a cover story very quickly that it was for a charity or some other kid.
Oh, we did. Something. We said, oh, Trevor, it's for a child who doesn't have anything. And and Trevor was, I don't know, 6 or whatever he was.
He wasn't that old.
7, 5. I don't know what he was. And he was like, oh, he's going to really love it or something. And I was like, wow, we just pulled the wool over his eyes. And then he got it.
All the presents are still collected in my office, and then so we came here today, and I wasn't thinking, and I have Calvin with me because of homeschool, and we went in my office. I was like, whoa, out. So, whoa, get out of here. So
they're in boxes, but knowing Calvin, he would look through the boxes.
Yeah, so I mean, nothing was obvious, nothing was laying out, so things are pretty much.
Yeah, and you actually slipped up last week, didn't you?
What did I do?
Dad slipped up last week, didn't he?
Oh my God! Okay, so
what happened last week?
Okay, we have things shipped here, right? And the
you got to
boys.
show that.
Well, we are.
Message,
so
Harrison,
the boys. Let me give context. The boys they have a bit of an Amazon habit, and they will get on there and just order things sometimes. And I'll ask, and they'll go, "Oh yeah, I meant to pay you back for that." Yes. So they'll just order things sometimes without us knowing. Mm-hmm. So I think it was Kayla Kinnaman came in and said, "I think this got delivered. It's not ours. So here." And I looked at it and I said, who ordered these things? Okay. So I ended up texting Holden and I go, hey, did you order da-da-da-da-da? Then it turns out it was one of his gifts. And I said, oh, never mind. And he goes, thanks, idiot.
Show the text, Harrison, that he sent you. The Holden sent you about that whole thing.
I think you just did a screenshot of that.
That was absolutely hilarious.
I hear Harrison just bust out laughing.
Yeah, Holden ends up texting text Harrison and says, it's clever. I'll let you guys read it here in just a second. But, so.
And then Holden was like, thanks a lot. And it's like, it was on your Christmas list. I mean.
You kind of knew you might be
kind of knew you were going to get it. He kept saying, like, I can't believe you did that. I was like, what are you talking about? You put in a request for it.
Oh, gosh.
So, anyway, so that was a funny
That was the
Christmas
joke
story.
of the week last week and this weekend. Yeah.
He said something like, that's part of my compensation. What did he say? It's so funny.
Yeah, he thought that he needed to be repaid for the mess up.
It said, it doesn't count towards my Christmas budget. Let's call it a type of compensation. I was like, wait a minute. And then he texted me yesterday because he said, random question, did you pay me for working Thanksgiving? And I didn't have a smart enough quip to come back with. So
gosh.
So it's never a dull moment with these guys. My goodness gracious. When they Holden takes his Christmas very seriously. He starts buying Yankee candles towards the end of summer.
Yeah. Oh gosh. We talked about that last last podcast episode, how serious he is with his Christmas.
Yeah,
Okay, so here's the text that Holden sent Harrison. When Dad asked you if you ordered one of your Christmas gifts, you asked for. Oh, gosh, that's pretty funny. Yeah.
See, and Emma, the problem is that Emily is she takes point on a lot of these ordering of gifts and stuff. So a lot of times I don't know what's going on. So, yeah.
Yes, but what Richie doesn't remember is the conversation I had with him about the Amazon order. That then he came in and asked if it was Holden's. That's what was really funny too.
Well, I know, but
because
I
24 hours, not more than 24 hours earlier, did I say?
I didn't look at his list though.
No, I know, but I said, "Oh my gosh, I got everything ordered." Da da da. I'm so smart. I da 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 da. And you're like, "I'm so glad you're in charge of that. You're so good at it."
You are good at it. I just didn't make the connection. That's what it was. That's all.
I know. It was pretty funny.
I guess because of the specificity of what that was. What did he do? What did he do?
It's
Derp.
Oh
gosh,
that's
goofball.
Too funny. Oh my goodness. Okay, so
yeah,
it's every Christmas we try not to make that mistake.
Yeah, and
somehow.
and some Christmases we fail.
We do.
But I will say that the kids, I know that sure that's one of their favorite times of the year is Christmas and opening up, having the family time and opening.
Well,
gifts
and they
stuff.
like surprises, so everybody still to this day likes to be surprised.
Yeah,
and so it's kind of funny. So it's my mission, even as they get older and they're boys, and so it's been difficult to surprise them with something that they didn't know they wanted, but then once they get it, they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is awesome! I didn't realize that this is what I wanted, or this is something I wanted, or whatever."
Yeah.
So
what other memorable Christmas memories do you have?
Oh gosh.
As we looked through old pictures last night.
Oh, there's so many. I mean, it was I don't even know where I would start.
We had one Christmas, I'd forget, and it must have been Trevor. You had to take or was it Johnny? You had to take to the emergency room?
No, it was Trevor. Yeah.
We got up, opened presents, and then you took off with Trevor. He was running a fever or something, wasn't he?
There was something wrong. I can't remember what was wrong with him.
Yeah.
Something, yeah.
So, yeah, Christmas is always fun at our house. There was one year when I got them all musical instruments.
Oh, God, that was hilarious.
This is a funny story because Harrison, I remember I had bought a guitar and everything. I got Harrison a guitar, Trevor a keyboard. I don't remember what I got Johnny, but I got drums for Holden. Yeah. Maybe nothing for Johnny. He might have been too young. But anyway, I set it up downstairs. I had gotten a few things off Craigslist, and I bought this right-handed Stratocaster guitar, and Harrison's right-handed, so I'm like, he's right-handed. So I was downstairs one night, and he was playing Guitar Hero, and he was playing it left-handed.
That's right.
Oh, no.
You're like, oh, no.
Crap. So I had to make a mad dash to Guitar Center and go, do you have any lefty guitars? And
I remember that.
And
That's
they did.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, we kept those for a while. And somebody went downstairs and said to the basement, remember, and they said, are we getting instruments for Christmas or something like that?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Harrison, do you remember ever finding presents when you were younger?
No, I don't think so. I do remember going downstairs when I was younger and seeing you guys setting up the presents. And then that's when I linked the two together. And I was like, oh, Santa's not real.
There's always that moment.
I remember being like, wait, what? I was like, they're not Santa. I was like,
I really wanted to do something funny with the elf this year because Calvin still believes in everything. And so
He's still doing the elf.
And you showed me that Instagram post of the elf that the lady did with the elf and the Grinch.
Oh yeah, with this lady, it was on
and
something.
It was so freaking cute.
It was.
Oh my God, it was hilarious.
It was somebody in the UK. It was a mom, and they had chicken the night before, so she played a prank on her kid and laid out the elf on the shelf, but just the hat, and laid out the chicken bones and put like ketchup or something on it. And put the Grinch. There it is, the Grinch.
The Grinch.
And she said her kid just cried and cried.
The silverware. The Grinch had silverware.
And the other elf on the shelf was the hands over his eyes. Isn't that great?
I think that is.
She goes, I feel like a bad mom. I was like, that's hilarious.
Oh, and then her comment at the end, like when she was talking about what her son said, and her son said,
he's
not allowed to eat the Grinch is not allowed to eat the elf
on the
shelf.
I mean,
it was just so
poor kid
cute.
Scarred.
But I just
that's very clever though.
Love the image of the elf with his hands over his eyes.
What's the elf thinking? What am I next? Grinch is pretty big.
Oh gosh, I told Richie, I'm like, we have a Grinch. We have the Grinch that Grandmom gave everybody. I'm like, let's pose him with the elf somehow.
Although I think Calvin's probably a bit too jaded. He would look at that and go, "That looks like chicken bones."
That looks like chicken bones. Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's just so cute. Anyway,
Although considering he's never eaten chicken off the bone, he probably would have no idea.
that's true.
The only
Yes.
chicken he gets is a nugget for him.
Some people are so clever with their elf stuff.
Yeah, but it's been really cute to see. We had something recently with that where we had to put cinnamon on his face or something.
Oh,
like that.
because he goes, oh my gosh. And his face, he goes like this. He's like, oh my gosh, I think I touched the elf, which means he loses his magic. And I was like, oh my gosh. And he goes, I'm going to look it up online, what you do if he loses his magic. And so he looked it up, and he goes, he read it out loud to me, and he goes, cinnamon is the vitamins to bring back the magic in the elf. And I was like, oh my God, okay, this is amazing. Okay, so what are we gonna do? And he's like, we've got to put cinnamon out. And so then we put cinnamon out, and hopefully he doesn't listen to the podcast. And
don't
so
listen.
then that night we rubbed the elf's face in the cinnamon.
And then put it back up on
and
the thing.
put him up on the pull-up bar, and we were like,
Yeah.
"Man, I ate too much cinnamon in my, whatever."
Right.
It was hilarious. We played that out a little bit.
But they write notes back and forth.
Yeah, he writes notes to the elf, and so it's really funny. So I'm making him do his handwriting. He doesn't even know it.
That's right. He, yeah.
So anyway, it's been funny to watch.
Yeah, it's really cute to watch that dynamic and that age of mystery and.
But yeah, some people are so clever with what they do.
What they can do
With some of the elf stuff that they've done. I mean, there's some really clever people. I was like, God, these people are really creative.
It's so funny. I remember Elf on the Shelf as a kid, and everyone wasn't nearly as connected back then. As they are
Really?
today.
I don't even remember that as a thing.
I remember seeing it somewhere, but I don't remember where I saw it. Somebody had. I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But it's like a whole big thing now. I mean.
Oh yeah.
Elf on the Shelf and the book and everything.
Yeah, everybody knows.
But I don't remember where. I don't recall seeing it.
So now that we're into the Christmas season, do you have your favorite Hallmark movie that you've watched so far?
The one we watched recently was really funny. With the two stars in the movie wrote it. And I can't think of the name of it. It was cute. It was basically about a guy. It's so funny, like
A guy and a girl.
A guy and a girl who are at odds and they get together.
So,
Every Hallmark plot ever.
Yeah, no, actually, this one was funny because the writing was funny. Oh my gosh, what does that say? Naughty, nice, burned down. What does it say?
Can you get over there? No, what's it say?
Burned down Cheryl's.
It says naughty, nice, burn down Cheryl's shed.
Oh, burned down Cheryl's.
Oh no! Oh, he's black.
Oh my
Is that
God,
like
that's
soot on
hilarious.
him?
He's all, yeah, that's
Oh, no.
awesome.
She sheds. What's that say?
It says I farted in here, open lid and smell.
Oh my gosh, yeah, pretty funny.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh goodness gracious. So, okay, so yeah, so you don't remember the name of that one, but that was really funny. That they had good jokes.
Yeah,
in
the
that
banter
Hallmark.
back and forth is really good. It's funny because you watch the movies and it's always like somebody. There's always some kind of like rom-com aspect to it, and it's like some person comes home unexpectedly because one of their parents is having health trouble or something,
Right.
and they're engaged to some guy in the big city, and they come across a lumberjack who they used to date in high school or something, and they get together. It's so stupid.
Yeah, but Hallmark has made
Oh my gosh,
a
they
thing
have
out of
made
it. They figured out how to.
and all the same actors. There's so many actors that have recurring characters.
Yeah.
I mean, like the same people, different characters.
Well, now they're promoting that. It'd be
Yeah.
like this
Lacey
person
Chabert,
in
this
here.
person, yeah.
Oh, the 25 best Hallmark Christmas movies of all time.
By a
Okay, let's
superfan?
just see. Do you have the
I want
list?
you guys to read these first like 5 or 6 of these, okay? And this
All
is
right.
the exact reason why I don't like these movies. Okay.
Okay. Okay, wait.
I can't
Where are
read
you
that.
at?
You have to make that bigger.
It's
dude.
Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Eve. Okay. Christmas in Evergreen.
No, that
Okay.
one.
Christmas at the Plaza. Christmas at Graceland. I haven't watched that one yet. Christmas at
Dollywood.
Are you guys
That
Dollywood.
one.
catching on to the trend?
Christmas at certain places.
A
Christmas for
Grandpa for
Gran-
Christmas.
A Heavenly Christmas.
Christmas. The Christmas card.
I haven't seen any of these.
What is that picture? What are they doing there? Why do they look
What?
so serious?
They're serious.
What is that?
I don't know.
Christmas Town.
I've watched
can't see
some of
these.
those. These are the 20 of all time, huh? I'm going to have to go back and make sure. Oh, I've watched
December
that.
Bride. I've seen that one. The Gingerbread Romance. I don't know if I've seen that one.
So we're going to have to
Mistletoe
go back
Promise.
and see if
I
we've
don't
seen
know.
all of these or not.
Coming Home for Christmas. I'll Be Home for Christmas. Christmas at the Palace. I've seen that one, I think. Christmas at Pemberley Manor. I don't know. What are you laughing at?
It's so funny because they literally, the names are just so funny. You can just say Christmas in Carmel, Christmas in Fishers,
Christmas
in
at Brookshire.
Christmas at Brookshire.
An All-Star Christmas.
Hey, we could have our own Hallmark movie.
That would be funny.
An All-Star Christmas. Harrison, that's for 2021. We're going to make a spoof,
Alright.
a Hallmark spoof.
Okay, I'll call him up.
Okay, that would be hilarious.
You should have one with dogs.
Just like, you know how they do the TikTok, like it's like a recreation of like, you know, like what somebody's doing. Like, so
Right.
like it's like an adult acting like a junior high school student.
Oh, right.
And they're doing all the things that the junior high school student does, and it's like a play on the scenario.
Right.
You know, they're making fun of the scenario, but they're the
Right.
ones doing it. It's hilarious. Some of them are really funny.
You know,
We need to do that as a Hallmark movie for 2021. I'm putting it out there now. We're doing it. 2021, there will be
There you
a
go. We can do it.
Christmas
We
at
certainly have enough
All-Star.
experience.
An All-Star Christmas. I think I
An
like
All-Star
that better.
Christmas.
An
That'd be
All-Star
great.
Christmas.
So you have a client come in here and they happen to bring their mom's dog and they run into
Yes.
run
Yes.
into a technician.
Yes.
They used to have a crush on each other in high school. They didn't know it. They start to talk.
We're going to create our own, yeah.
And then the girl has
All-Star
the same
Christmas.
kind of dog and they get together and play.
This is going to be great. I'm going to have people brainstorming now from now until.
And at the end, toward the end of the movie, she calls her boyfriend back in the big city. He's like, this isn't going to work out.
Yep. We can come up with our plot, so we got to create our
We've
story.
already got to have written.
Shoot. And then we'll start filming in October.
Let's do it.
Okay.
It'd be really funny.
All right. That's going to be a quarterly,
Be like
a
Spinal
third
Tap.
quarter goal for
Yeah.
next
You're going to
year.
have to figure out who to play which part.
Okay. We can figure that
That's
out.
easy.
Oh, this will be great.
You
Oh my
gotta
gosh.
have Holden play the guy from out of town. Put a
We
tie
need
on
to.
him.
Well, it needs to have some kind of like all-star spoof to it. So it's gonna have to be.
Oh my God, it can
Mark's
be.
here. It can make it real easy.
It can be Holden and it can be Holden and Evelyn.
Evelyn walks
my
up in her skirt.
gosh.
Holden, how are you?
Oh gosh, it could be like them now, and then they've lost touch, and then she gets out of veterinary school. Now she's a veterinarian.
She walks in. Oh,
And-
hey, she walks in because she's filling in front of the doctor.
Yeah,
She has to
and
work
then
here.
she finds Holden. There we go. We've just
She
written
walks to the
script.
exam room and just all of a sudden their eyes meet. There's
Oh
the movie.
gosh, that would be hilarious.
It can be Holden and Kirsten. Kirsten did theater. She's a
There
good
you go.
actress.
True.
Okay, so we have to create the storyline.
It'd be really funny. Very, very funny.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay, we're doing it.
Yeah.
Also, I've put out into the world my my want to do the next. I'm gonna go ahead and say it, Harrison.
Announce it. Go ahead.
I don't know if I'd announce it just because I don't know if it's actually going to happen.
What?
Okay, I got to work really hard to make it happen.
What?
It starts with an L.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Everybody out there can probably guess.
No, I probably not because I almost didn't.
So
We have an idea for something, and we are a bit under the gun to try and plan it and get it executed before the holidays. And
Yeah. because these ideas come to my brain occasionally, and that much to Harrison's. Yeah, he doesn't really.
we've done it in the past.
Yes,
with the
but
Bruno Mars song and the.
oh, there's your clue.
That's the clue.
There's your clue. All right, so sometimes I come up with these ideas, and then I go to Harrison, and I'm like, "Here's my idea. Now make it happen." And Harrison's like,
no, can't get it done.
I'm not sure how to do this." And so much to his,
That's a really good video.
he
guys did a
is
great job on
very kind to me to put up with all my crazy ideas. But then he takes the idea and then he develops it into these amazing things.
Yeah.
So, but I always feel like these ideas are given to me for a purpose. So then I say them because otherwise, why would those muses, I think you call them,
Yeah, the muse.
angels, whatever you want to say, give me these ideas, and they're there for a reason.
I feel
And
the same
so-
way sometimes. I mean, not with this, but ideas will come to me just like that. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, wow, what about this? And it's fascinating to see the idea then translated into, reality.
So,
it's cool.
yeah, I've got.
I don't think it's going to be that hard to do.
We'll see.
I think you could
I've got the
put it
main
together
actor
fairly-
on board. That was the main thing.
That's always what Dad says. Hey, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. Doesn't know.
So speaking of England, earlier you said something about England.
Oh yeah, we had a lot
reached
of.
we really reached 1,000 downloads on the podcast,
Wow, there you go.
and I was like, that was one of Harrison's VGP 2020 goals.
1,000 downloads. Is that on what? Is that just on Facebook? Or
No,
on
just
iPod or iTunes?
Just across the board.
across the board.
Okay, across all
1,000
platforms.
downloads. And
To
then so
start.
we came in and he was like, that's awesome. And then he analyzed the 1,000 downloads. And he
Well, just
saw
this past week.
this past weekend,
Yeah.
week's episode. What'd you call it, Harrison?
King Family.
King
Dynamic.
family dynamic.
The King family dynamic. So
We had a lot of listeners from
across
UK,
the pond
Great Britain.
in Great Britain. And can anyone guess why?
Probably because they thought they were watching us on the royal family. We are many things. We are far from royal.
We are a royal family. At least we think so.
We're like peasants.
Gosh. And so Harrison was laughing so hard because he's like, you're never going to believe where the majority of these downloads came from. And he's like, England. And he's like, I think I know why. And so they are,
That's fun though. That's cool.
it's really hilarious though that people searched something, whatever they searched.
I probably came up with something else. I mean, maybe they'd searched something in the past. I don't know, who knows, like a suggested post or something.
Yeah. And so they showed up. I just thought that was hilarious. But Calvin has a friend named, well, his game name is Pudding, which I think is just the cutest game
verified.
name. Yes, we verified
No, we
him.
verified it.
And he's Calvin's age, and he lives in England.
Yes.
He lives in London, in England, and Calvin talks to him, and he does talk in an
They
English.
play Fortnite together.
Yeah, they play Fortnite together, and so I was like, "Oh my gosh, look at that!" Maybe Pudding's
cute.
listening.
So we had we should get Pudding on the podcast.
We totally need to get Pudding and Calvin on the podcast so they could FaceTime each other
Yeah.
and talk to each other in person. Because I don't know if they've ever. You can't see each other, right, Harrison? You
Well,
can
no,
only verbally talk.
Yeah, but he showed us his TikTok.
Yeah, he's got a TikTok. So we saw Pudding's TikTok, and he's got siblings too.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious because he posts things like Calvin posts on
Yeah,
TikTok.
like family stuff.
And just funny videos and things like that. And so
It's fascinating to me, the connectivity with which people operate and live their lives today.
Yeah.
I mean, the notion that you could, speak in real time or even come across anybody like that. I mean,
Right.
in that capacity. Unless
and
you
of course
actually
they have to
visited
play
there.
at different times, like, you know,
Right.
because England, wherever, they're in a different time thing.
zone.
But I had asked him one time about Halloween. I said, is Pudding doing Halloween? And he said no, because they're on quarantine. He wasn't allowed to do Halloween.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, that's sad. But
Right.
it's interesting that they're talking about those things,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
you know, to each other or whatever. And
Yeah.
so it's just fascinating because I'm like, is he teaching you anything about England? Like,
Yeah. Cultural or
you know, or whatever. And he's told me that he's taught him about a few things. So yeah, it's kind of cool.
It's interesting because my brother-in-law has he travels a lot with his job, and he has spent some time in England, and he's given a lot of insight. I've never been there, so it's weird how you just think that things are kind of the same everywhere, but they're not.
Right.
And the differences that he's noticed being in London and some of those other places over there. It's cool, you know, to see those, you know, to recognize those distinctions, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so in Harrison, you had a good weekend, right? You went and got your first Christmas tree for your first house.
Sure did.
Sure did. Got some appliances delivered. Got them put in almost. Almost got them put in.
There you go.
Dishwasher still need to be put in. But
It's
otherwise-
funny because I showed up yesterday to help Harrison install these. The refrigerator is super easy. Just, you know, no water line. Just, you know, put it in. And it was funny because I said I was talking to him. I said it was an under cabinet mount microwave, and I said I've never done one of these before. And Madeline was like, Harrison, you said your dad knew how to do it. And I was like, well, I can figure it out. And we did.
Oh my gosh.
And it looks good. Actually, it turned out, I mean, I was really happy with how snug. And once you get the bottom bracket on and you find the holes in the top, oh, this is hysterical. They give you these templates, right? I'm having flashbacks to the Pottery Barn shelves I used to have to try and put up.
Yeah.
And they give you this template, and it's like tissue paper almost. It's like flapping, and you can't hold it, and that's how you're supposed to know where to drill the holes. So it worked out fine in the end. But that really wasn't too bad either. I think it really makes the kitchen look a little bit better with updated appliances.
Oh, it looks so good with them in there.
And then we tried to do.
I was really happy with, especially the microwave. The microwave was the toughest one to do, and that did a good job.
Oh, when I was doing it, it was so funny. This is so like something that would happen to us. They've got their stove. It's a flat stove, flat range, and it's got like the exhaust on the back, like a fan. And I had a pin. I was trying to mark this thing, and the pin broke, and a piece of the pin fell down into the fan. I was like, God dang it!
And meanwhile, the stove, because you had to turn on the stove when you got it to let the coils burn for an hour. And so after you turn up, the fan was blowing. Dad was trying to put it up in the thing, and the tissue in the papers.
So we got tape. We're trying to tape it, and it's ripping. And so finally, I was like, screw it. We're just gonna figure it out. And we just jammed it through there, and then left a little bit, and we had to figure out the bolts.
Bolts were pretty close.
Yeah, they were pretty close. But yeah, that went in great. And then the dishwasher, when we pulled it out, it was an old dishwasher. I mean, it didn't weigh 2 pounds. It was.
Mind you, all these appliances are from like early 2000s, early 2000s.
So we take that out, and they had hardwired the dishwasher versus having a plug that you plug it into. Well, the new dishwasher either is a little bit larger, or because I had to pull it and get a drywall saw and install an outlet because it came with a cord, like a plug cord. We push it in there, and it's just you're about an inch shy of where it needs to be. And I told Harrison, I said, you probably should call a pro to come out and put it in. I said, because this is something, the microwave is not, you're not dealing with water lines or any of that stuff, but this is, you don't want a problem.
Right.
So I was like, get those guys to come out and put it in, and then that way you'll be pleased with it. And because they do it every day.
Right.
I could figure it out, but I mean, there comes a time when you call on the professionals to have them do it correctly.
Helpful.
So it's good though. It was a fun day hanging out with Harry and Madeline and helping them with their stuff. So,
well, before we wrap up today, I want to remind all of our listeners about the time of year, being that it's the holidays, and the fact that we have tons of sweets out and around, and chocolate is out and around, and sometimes on people's floors.
And advent calendars.
In the form of advent calendars. If you have creative dogs or dogs that have good noses, they will find your stuff. So we have had clients with pets, unfortunately, pass away from chocolate toxicity. And I think nowadays with the dark chocolate combinations that they've got out, where they're like pushing like a lot of the like cocoa, like 50% cocoa and whatnot. Cacao, according to Johnny. Then you run the risk of exposing your pet to deadly levels of chocolate. So here is an example of none other.
Yeah, before I show this post,
yes,
there is throw up. If you get easily like gaggy,
that's a lot of throw
just
up.
Turn away. It's coming.
Content
5,
warning.
4, 3, 2, 1. Here it is. Okay. So
not that bad.
This is none other than Harrison's dog and Madeline's dog, Annie. She decided she was going to eat an entire advent calendar worth of chocolate on the first day of December.
Right.
She's like, why wait to the 25th?
Fast forwarded, yeah.
Why wait? I'm just eating it all now. Like I'm going to ask for forgiveness later. So she ate the entire advent calendar. Luckily, Madeline's sister was up and was home as well visiting. Right. And so they found that she had eaten the advent calendar, all the chocolate. She looks really sad. She had to give it all back. And so we made her vomit using apomorphine. And I will tell you, I was the one back there that vomit did not smell like vomit. It smelled like warm chocolate. That's how much chocolate she ate.
Wow.
It was liquid. Ugh. Chocolate, just warm.
And meanwhile,
warm liquid chocolate.
They had to do that and Moose.
Yeah, Moose.
And then
Moose, my other dog, my wiener dog, also
Yep.
participated, but not nearly as much as Annie. So I felt really bad because he threw up once and it was all out. But then he kept doing it, kept throwing up, and another one was coming out. And I was like, I'm so sorry.
They had to pin his ears back.
We pinned his ears back. Do we have a picture of Moose with his ears pinned back? I don't know if we do. And so Annie, so be careful. You know, the rule of thumb would be that the dog can vomit about 60% of their stomach contents when they vomit, like with a toxicity like that. So you need to be really careful with having those types of products around. Milk chocolate, not nearly an issue. They have to consume a large volume of milk chocolate. It's really the dark chocolate. Of course, the added benefit of Harrison and Madeline's advent calendar was that there was alcohol in the chocolates.
Right.
So
It tastes good.
she was like double doing it. She was like, if I'm going all in, I'm going all
the way,
in.
right?
And so she's like, I'm eating every one of those alcohol dark chocolates. And she did it.
She did it.
I was amazed.
Was
the amount of aluminum foil from the packaging was impressive enough. And then Harrison said that next day she was fine.
Yeah.
So she has an iron gut, luckily. But if that stuff is not caught in time, there's Moosers. He looks so sad too.
I guess I feel terrible.
He did. He felt very nauseous. And thank God for apomorphine. It really makes things come up nicely.
What'd you guys used to use?
Hydrogen peroxide.
I remember that.
You know, but we've used apomorphine for quite a long period of time. But it, and not everything you want to make a dog vomit, but in this case, we definitely, Annie would have been at a toxic level of chocolate had we not made her vomit. So I think that having that is very beneficial for our clients.
So that's a classic.
So if you can find it early enough, then, you know, make sure you call us. Make sure you ask. We're happy to answer questions about whether or not it's something you can need to be concerned about. But then also, the ASPCA has veterinary board certified toxicologists. I cannot recommend them enough. They are amazing. And so you specifically will talk to a veterinary toxicologist. They're awesome. They are board certified in veterinary toxicology, and they know what they're doing. If you have a question about something your pet has ingested, they are a great resource.
Right.
It's worth the however many dollars. I think it's $70. I don't know, to talk to them. It is worth it. If you have a microchip from Home Again, then your calls to the ASPCA, to the poison control line, are free. So if you have a Home Again microchip, then you have the added benefit of those calls being free. So anything, whether it be they eat the toothpaste, they eat the chocolate from the advent calendar, whatever it might be, they can tell you whether or not it's something that you should be concerned about.
That's awesome.
So that's a plug for.
But what's the time frame? Is like after a dog eats an amount of chocolate like Annie? What's the time frame? Like,
I mean, really, you really want to get that out of their stomach within an hour, because a lot of it starts moving through their system.
Right.
So we use an hour usually. I
think one of the things that, I mean, we've had this experience, not this specific experience, but just the dogs getting into stuff. If they can get into it, they will.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if they have
they can smell it, there are some dogs that just have such good noses. Yeah. I mean, they can find stuff that you would not. You're like, I cannot believe there's something there. And if they're on it, there's something there.
Right.
There's no reason for them other than their nose to be thinking that there's something there.
Right.
And so they'll find it. They will.
And they will. And they'll get into it and cause a problem. Expect the unexpected sometimes with those, and take the few extra steps to secure whatever toxic material.
Lisa said in her comment saying, "Can Hamilton, the Maine Coon cat, have a cameo?" Ha ha ha.
Oh gosh. Okay, so anything else for this week's podcast?
No, I think no.
Everything
covered
else
pretty much everything.
Covered everything. All right. Well, we'll wrap it up there, and we'll see everybody next Monday.
Mm-hmm.
How many more Mondays until we do the what is it again?
The prediction
podcast, where we predict
it's
what's going to happen in 2021.
Predictions podcast.
Probably on.
I think it's 3 weeks from now.
We only have 2 more Mondays before Christmas.
So
3 before the end of the year.
Yeah, so 2 more Mondays. So not this Monday, the next Monday. 14th to 21st.
The 14th or the 21st?
No, it'll be the 21st.
So what are we?
No. It'll be the Monday after that, because New Year's
the 28th.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you want to do the 28th? All right, we'll do the 28th.
What are our predictions? What are we going to predict?
We gotta look at our last year. He's gonna find our last year predictions.
I'm gonna find our last year predictions. I'll come up with categories.
I was about to say they're all blown.
And then we need to then put out our predictions for this year.
I didn't realize we did.
For 2021.
I didn't realize
basically.
we did some last year.
Yeah. So
I'm sure none of them came true. Who would have predicted
they
all
might
this
have.
nonsense?
You don't know.
I doubt it.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys next week, somewhere around 11:15 or so. And don't forget, you can check us out on any of the podcast channels. And don't forget to check out the merch store at asvcmerch.com. I'm Emily King.
I'm Richie King.
And we'll see you next week.
We're out.
Have a good week.